the evaluation process is equal also a lot of work, and I hope ZACWA has got really that capacity to do all these things effectively. But otherwise, I think, unless there are any other questions, just in a brief, I think we have taken more than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Chair, that is a huge responsibility of evaluation. That's applications from one end, from one country to another are degraded, upgraded, is based on the qualifications. Now, amended. All what we are talking about is happening today. ZACWA is evaluating. ZACWA is registering these qualifications. From their experience now, for you to register a qualification, 60 days they've determined that it is adequate. Why? Because from 2013 they've gone through the meal. Hence, this it's not that they are starting afresh. No. Even as we talk now, they are evaluating qualifications. They are verifying qualifications. They are registering qualification from a Zambia.
Grade 7, grade
NIPA, ECZ submit.
They've been verifying those as well?
No. There are two processes that we shouldn't confuse.
No.
There is registration. You register as an awarding body like ECZ.
My question is, you have said everything that, there's nothing that has changed. ZACWA has been doing this.
Yes.
And I'm asking you a question.
Yeah, yes.
Have they been verifying grade 7, grade 12 results as well? I just want to know.
The answer is yes. Now,
they're doing that?
Yes. Well, from 2013 they've been verifying qualifications. Even today as we sit, what is happening? Let me
I'm not saying qualification. I'm specific. I'm talking of
certificates. One certificate. This is why, if you allowed me, so that you are clear, because there are two things that is being confused here. There is the registration of qualifications. ECZ submitted there are 3 qualifications, and those have been registered. That is one. The next requirement when you register your qualification is to submit learner records, which all these institutions, the awarding bodies, are doing. Are doing that. Then, when it comes to verification of qualification, since 2014, ZACWA has been verifying ECZ qualification. How is it done? Those that know that is ZACWA who has that mandate, they will go to ZACWA. And ZACWA will get all the details. And when they have those details, because ECZ has not complied with the registration criteria which they are given by ZACWA, by not submitting the learner records, ZACWA still goes to ECZ. If they verify, it comes, ZACWA issues a certificate of verification. While other institutions that have complied, like TVETA, like the University of Zambia, ZACWA does not take to University of Zambia. They verify there and then because they have the learner records.
Why haven't they complied?
Who has not complied?
The examination council.
Well, I will not diverge into those areas. I think they know better. But what I do know is the requirement when your qualification has been registered as an awarding body, the requirement is that you must submit learner records.
I think we have run out of time.
Thank you.
We have spent a lot of time. Yeah.
May I make one comment here?
Yeah.
The honorable member has said they have not complied, and since 2013, why hasn't ZACWA taken measures? Because then ECZ hasn't complied.
Yeah, so I think we come to I think my last comment is that I think the issues of capacity should really be looked into very, very seriously. And like I said, these bodies also, along the way, they have not been, I'm not talking about in Zambia, like in South Africa. To me, sometimes I felt, I don't know, they really downgraded the Zambian qualifications. And yet, in terms of performance, Zambian qualifications did very well. People, the workers, did very well. But so you wonder how they were grading them, when in some cases it was actually from Zambia that they were being helped put up these institutions in the learning. So anyway, but also what is clear here now, and this is what we needed to clarify, is that ECZs too were verifying their papers. They have been all along. They have been. So they have been doing that, because I have seen who have gone there to verify the results. Anyway, we'll see how it goes, but thank you very much for your contributions. Us will write what you have submitted. Yeah, that's what we write in the report, and we thank you for being analytical in a number of things here that we have suggested. And this is the way it's supposed to be. And now that we have come to an end, I will now withdraw the immunity. Thank you very much for your submission.
For Zambians, particularly women and youth in the districts where the milling plants were to be installed. The honourable members wish to note that on 27th July 2016, the government of the Republic of Zambia contracted a loan from the Development Bank, from the China Development Bank, amounting to $170 million to finance a contract in amounts totaling, which totaled up to $200 million for the delivery and the installation of 1,000 solar-powered milling plants in all parts of the country. The contract was undertaken by Shandong, the Zhang Group Company, Incorporated, China. Subsequently, the government and the Zambia Cooperative Federation Limited signed a memorandum of understanding which the ZCF was appointed as a project implementing agent. The honourable members may further wish to note that the contract provided the following, among other things: the contract price be a fixed total price and should not be altered unless the alteration is based on a change in the project and the change is otherwise stated in the contract. Then each unit of the solar-powered milling plant should consist of a 40 by 12 volt 200 AM batteries, and the completion period was to be 24 months from the date of commencement, and the warranty period was 5 years, and all equipment parts arising from the normal use should be replaced. The following was observed. The first observation was the failure to deliver the project within the contracted period. A review of the contract of clause number 8.2.1 reviewed that the project was to commence the works once the 15% deposit prescribed had been paid to the contractor, and that the completion date was to be within 24 months after receipt of the deposit amount. On 7th March 2016, the contractor was paid the deposit amount in full. In this regard, the expected completion date was 6th March 2018, which was revised to January 2019. However, a review of the project progress report, the reports for the year ended 31st December 2021, and physical inspection of selected sites revealed that the project was still incomplete as at 31st March 2022. Was still incomplete. As of 31st March 2022, 38 months after the scheduled completion date, there was no evidence that the contract completion date had been varied. Out of the contracted 1,583 units, we have in brackets the 1,553 units of solar-powered milling plants and 30 units of solar-powered rice mills. The installation of 12 rice mills had not been completed. It was further observed that of the completed solar milling plants, a total of 555 plants were non-functional as at the time of audit in January 2024. Honorable Chair, honorable members of this committee, the ministry's response to this query is that the ministry takes note of the auditor's observations. However, the committee may wish to note that the delay in commencement of the project was due to the following. Number one, delays in raising the 30 million advance payment. This is the counterpart fund, which the government is expected to pay to 15% of the total loans to be paid to the Chinese government before the disbursements to the monies to the contractor are initiated. So there was a delay in raising the $30 million advance payment. Secondly, the delay by the Zambia Cooperative Federation to obtain a no objection from the Zambia Public Procurement Agency and the Zambian Environmental Management Agency, as some procurement requirements relating to government projects have not been done. Thirdly, the third reason was the delay by the subcontractors to complete the construction of slabs on which the contractor was expected to erect new houses and new equipment installations due to difficulties in mobilizing resources to commence the works. And lastly, the restrictions of local and international movements caused by the following. At the end of 2019 into early 2020, we had a COVID outbreak, which affected movements for both persons and goods due to logistical challenges. And B, we had an unfortunate instance of car gassing in some parts of the country, and as a result, there was some insecurity, and the contractors had to suspend works for fear of being attacked. As a result of the above, honorable members, the project lost some time of construction time. The committee may also wish to note that there is no memorandum of understanding that appointed the ZCF as a project implementers, as alluded to by the auditors. However, what exists is a construction agreement. The status, therefore, is that a total of 1,571 milling plants have been completed so far, comprising 1,553 maize mills and 18 rice mills, with a balance of 12 rice mills yet to be received. The contractor is still expected to give a status on the expected completion date for the 12 remaining rice mills. Regarding the issue of irregular collection of revenue, the honorable members of the committee may wish to note that Section 28 of the Public Finance Management Act number 2 of 2018 provides that general revenues collected by appointed agents on behalf of government should be transmitted to the consolidated fund as prescribed by the Treasury, and that subject to any express direction of the Secretary to the Treasury in respect of the operation of any fund or working account or monies received by an accounting officer, office holder, working account, or by any other, for the collection should be deposited into the consolidated fund not later than the next business day following the receipt unless otherwise directed by the Secretary to the Treasury. During the period from January 2017 to January 2024, the Zambia Cooperative Federation Limited collected amounts totaling 15,468,184 kwacha as lease fees from the cooperatives operating the solar-powered milling plants across the country. Contrary to the Act, as at 31st January 2024, collected amounts had not been deposited in the Consolidated Fund. To this, the response by the ministry is that, yes, the ministry takes note of the auditor's observation, which are factual. However, the committee may wish to note the following. When the project commenced, there were no guidelines provided to the ZCF on the authorization of the milling plants. Secondly, an initiative was taken by the ZCF to charge lease fees to manage the project. An amount of 1,700 kwacha monthly charge by each beneficiary cooperative was arrived at, considering the expected income per month. Arrived at considering the expected income per month less related costs. And thirdly, ZCF has not been depositing the release fees, as they have been using these funds for operations, monitoring, and supervision. To address these challenges, the government through the Treasury is currently formalizing the reporting structure between the relative stakeholders, that is the financier, which is the Ministry of Finance and National Planning, the supervising ministry, which is the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprises, and the agency, which is the ZCF, in the running of the milling plants and the management of the project. Honorable Chair, honorable members, I submit.
Thank you so much, PS. Honorable colleagues, that's a submission on the aforesaid query, which is sitting under the Ministry of Commerce, Trade and Industry. And I wish you have also, I know you are formalizing this reporting structure. I've seen Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise, I think, slowly taking over. I wish they were here to understand the processes also, and what is just transpiring over the aforesaid issue, but I'm sure in the background something is happening. Honorable colleagues, your points of clarifications and any questions for the PS and the team. Honorable Nakoka, you can proceed. Then followed by Honorable Mabumba, in that order. Thank you.
Yeah, Chair, I think it's just first of all, procedural clarification in terms of the information here. The query, PS, by the way, thank you very much for your presentation on the contract for the supply of solar-powered milling plants. The number of solar-powered milling plants indicated in the query is 1,000. In your submission, you are talking about 1,500 and where is that number again? So I just want to understand how, yes, you are saying out of the contracted 1,583 units. So can we get an idea of how we moved from 1,000 in the contract to 1,583 contracted units? Was there an amendment to the contract? Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mabumba. Thank you. PS, you can proceed with those two questions for now.
Thank you, Chair. I think for the first question, I'll be able to give some response. And for the second question, I'll let the acting DG, ZCF, to provide the response. On the first, regarding the first question, where we are supposed to initially procure 1,000 units, there was also supposed to be batteries procured, solar batteries, to help provide power to the communities around the milling plants, to provide power for small businesses and the like. But later on, it was decided that maybe rather than having solar, procuring those batteries along with the plants, it was decided that we actually procure milling plants only, so that there is a wider distribution to many other places, many other districts, which were not initially earmarked to benefit from this project. So that's how the battery idea was dropped down, and instead we increased the number of the milling plants that were to be procured. Hence this number rising to more than 1,500 milling plants. I think for the second question from Honorable Mabumba, I think I'll let the acting DG from ZCF to provide a response.
Thank you, acting DG. You can proceed.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, honorable members. There are no objections for Zambia Public Procurement Agency, ZPPA, was actually obtained on June 8th, 2026. Then the no objection from ZEMA, which is Zambia Environmental Management Agency, was obtained on March 14th, 2016. Then from the information we have, the actual contract was signed just about July 2026, 22nd.
Honorable Mabumba, has your question been answered?
I think what the acting DG is, he has explained, but what I would have wanted was, given the dates that he has given, then he should have been able either to confirm that the contract was signed, within those parameters or not. Thank you, Chair.
DG, you can switch off your mic for now, for just a moment. Honorable Anakoka, on the same issue?
Yes, Chair. Chair, I'm a little bit confused now, but nonetheless, I'm sure the PS can walk us through here. Because we need, first of all, to understand what was actually contracted here. One of the issues, PS, that we're grappling with, as you know, that this is a special audit and being handled by a special or select committee, is to establish exactly what was triggering us to be going into these loan arrangements. So in this case, we want to understand what is it that the government, first of all, when it signed the $200 million contract, had in mind it was going to do. I mean, a project of this nature, Chair, can't just be changed along the way that let's drop the batteries or what it is. Because now what I'm saying I'm confused is, was the idea of the batteries being dropped suggesting that we were now just going to put milling plants without any source of power on how these milling plants were going to run? Or if these other mini solar grids you're talking about were separate units, can we have a breakdown of how many solar plants were supposed to be procured and how many village mini grids were included in there, apart from the solar plants, the milling plants, complete with the solar power components? So what exactly is it that was in this 200? Before we talk about some of these things were dropped, let's have the numbers first of all, and before and after.